You're supposed to move around a little thing. What's this?
No, this is a laptop, so you have a trackpad. So you just touch it right here.
Oh. I don't have patience like that.
Have you ever wondered which black celebrities are huge marijuana enthusiasts? In this video, we revealed 25 stars whose love for weed might leave you completely surprised. Keep watching to find out. Number 25, DMX. Born Earl Simmons, DMX was not just a rapper. He valued being honest with his listeners. His songs shared his pain, struggles, and the lessons of faith he learned in a deep and heartfelt way. He always showed his true sincerity, and DMX connected with his fans by being genuine and sharing his life experiences. That authenticity developed as weed was included. DMX openly discussed it in interviews. He saw it as a way to show his creativity and relax. For him, marijuana was just part of his experience. It helped him relax and focus more on his work, not just as a substance. His songs also showed this. Although weed wasn't always a main focus, it quietly influenced the feel and style of some of his work. Songs like Slippin' let fans see the struggles he faced. In conversations, he explained how it helped him relax from life's pressures, think about songs, or unwind. DMX's connection to marijuana goes beyond just his songs. It also is about surviving in a world that can be too difficult to handle. His honesty about his struggles made fans love him even more because they could connect with what he went through. Speaking of battles, let's switch gears to someone who also faced her own struggles, Whitney Houston. Number 24, Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston had everything with her beautiful voice and incredible ability. Despite the shiny appearance, though, she was feeling a lot of pressure. Whitney was expected to be perfect from a very young age, an amazing singer, a great role model, and a nice person. She tried marijuana during her early experiments before it became known that she had used harder drugs. Like many others exploring the world and herself, she tried new things when she was younger. It was part of her story, showing how she was trying to handle life in the spotlight, but it didn't define who she was. Society standards made life harder for her. Whitney was compared to impossible standards. She was seen as the voice, a person who could do no wrong. The truth is, she was just a person. Trying weed as a teenager could have been her way of pushing back against the pressure she felt, seeking some freedom in a life where others were always watching her. Documentaries and conversations showed moments from her easier, happier days. Whitney loved to laugh, listen to music, and enjoyed life as it happened. Sometimes her responsibilities turned those events into struggles instead of just occasions. Whitney's story takes us into a world of fame and challenges. But now, let's go back to DMX and see how both artists dealt with being in the spotlight. Number 23, Rick James. Rick James was a pioneer, not just a singer. Known for his energetic performances and funky music, he lived a life that broke all the rules. He relied a lot on weed in his creative process, as it helped him relax to find new sounds for songs like Super Freak and Mary Jane. For Rick, music meant freedom, and weed symbolized that freedom. His open support for marijuana did spark some debate. Some people praised his honesty, while others criticized his lifestyle, calling it dangerous. Rick didn't seem worried, though. He believed in being honest and showing his true self through his work, regardless of what others thought. Rick James left a strong impact despite facing challenges. Artists today are still inspired by his bold attitude and willingness to stand by his choices. Speaking of artists who walk their own paths, let's turn to Samuel L. Jackson and see how he turned challenges into triumphs. Number 22, Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson's journey to becoming one of Hollywood's top actors was not easy. Early in his career, he struggled to find his identity and experimented with marijuana. He faced many challenges that could have changed his life in a negative way. However, Samuel realized he needed to make a change and chose to turn his life around. He focused his energy on becoming a respected actor. From films like Pulp Fiction to The Avengers, his performances are iconic, and his success story inspires many. Now, let's take a look at Rick James's contemporary, Whitney Houston, and explore how marijuana shaped her early experiences in the music world. Number 21, Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye was a musical genius known for his perfect voice and great songs that shaped a significant time in music. But Marvin faced challenges despite his success. Marvin used weed to deal with personal problems and stress. During tough times in his life and work, it helped him relax, feel comforted, and reduce his anxiety. Marvin's music was greatly affected by his marijuana use. It helped him reach a deeper level of inspiration. Some of his most famous songs, like What's Going On, came from moments of thinking and reflection, sometimes aided by marijuana to inspire him. His songs became more soulful, emotionally deep, and personally meaningful. While pot was important to him, it also had its downsides. Like many artists, Marvin used drugs to cope with the challenges of life and fame, but it didn't solve his problems. His music remains a lasting tribute to his talent. Now, let's shift focus to another celebrity who dealt with pressure in his own way, NBA star Lamar Odom. Let's see how marijuana played a role in Lamar's life on and off the court. Number 20, Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom was once a very interesting player in the NBA. He had ability, fame, and was in the spotlight. Despite the shine and glamour, Lamar faced internal struggles, though. Throughout his career, marijuana became a part of his life. For Lamar, marijuana helped him handle stress, relieve pain, stabilize his emotions, and provide relaxation. The use of marijuana became more common over time. It affected his life outside of the game too, not just when he was relaxing after playing. Unfortunately, this has consequences too. Lamar's use of weed caused debate related to his personal life and bans from the NBA. Despite his difficulties, Lamar's story is more than just about mistakes. It's about defeating them. Lamar started focusing on getting better and redoing his life after facing serious health problems. Even though pot was a part of his life, it doesn't define who he is now. From athletes to comedians, marijuana has found its way into many lives. Let's now look at how one of the greatest stand-up comedians, Richard Pryor, used marijuana in his own way. Number 19, Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was a unique and important comedian, known for his sharp humor and honest style. His stand-up shows often talk about sensitive topics like race, relationships, and his own struggles. In his comedy, pot was more than just a punchline. It was a part of his life. Richard often used weed and included it in his routine. He talked openly about it, and his audience liked his straightforward style. He was one of the strongest comedians ever because he could make even the controversial topic of drug, such as marijuana, funny. For Richard, marijuana was a way to connect with his audience and help overcome barriers, not just a drug. Through his comedy, he showed that pot shouldn't be a source of shame. It's just part of life for some people. Richard used pot along with his comedy skills to make us laugh at the silliness of life. Whether it's music, sports, or comedy, marijuana has been a part of many journeys. Let's now take a deeper look at how it shaped the lives of others in creative ways. Number 18, Clifford Joseph Harris, Jr., or T.I. T.I., whose real name is Clifford Joseph Harris, Jr., is one of the most influential singers of his time. Before becoming famous, T.I. used marijuana regularly. Like many young people, he tried weed while growing up. For him, it was about balancing life's responsibilities and trying to find his place in the world, as much as it was getting high. T.I. began using marijuana regularly as he became more famous. It helped him relax and focus on his singing. His music often reflected his struggles, including his experiences with life on the streets and the law. His genuine method came from how marijuana helped him write songs and express his feelings. T.I.'s trip was about more than just cannabis. He became the back of legislation of cannabis over time. T.I. pointed out the potential benefits of marijuana, not just for recreational use. He began supporting the legislation of weed after recognizing its medical benefits and the social justice issues linked to its illegal status. His shift from using marijuana to supporting it shows how his opinion changed over time. T.I.'s story is about growth and change. Speaking of change, let's look at Michael K. Williams and how marijuana was a way for him to cope with the pressures of Hollywood. Number 17, Michael K. Williams. Particularly in parts like Omar Little and The Wire, Michael K. Williams was recognized for his stirring performances. His road to popularity was not easy, though. Personal problems plus Hollywood's expectations taxed him greatly. Michael frequently turned to weed to help. It was more than just a means to escape from reality. It was a means of release from the stress of the entertainment business and his personal demons. Michael freely shared in interviews how marijuana helped him manage stress and the demands of fame. He was an actor, hence he had to face the weight of high expectations and constant criticism. In his personal life as much as on screen, the pressure to always perform drove marijuana as a means of relaxing. Michael did not, however, have simply trouble with marijuana. Along with the mental health stresses of public attention and addiction, Michael fought hard. Still, Michael's candid approach to sharing his challenges revealed more general problems that many performers deal with. He started advocating for positive mental health as he showed that it's acceptable to share your problems. Michael's candor on marijuana use and his challenges let others realize that fame is not always glitzy. He showed that one can overcome hurdles and be a voice for those going through similar events, even in the harshest of circumstances. Michael K. Williams' story highlights the challenges of being famous, but it also shows the strength in beating these challenges. Let's now look at D'Angelo's journey and how marijuana played a role in his decision to step back from the public eye. Number 16, D'Angelo. D'Angelo, the smooth and soulful R&B artist, had one of the most powerful voices of his age. After hit albums like Voodoo, D'Angelo withdrew from music for a long time. What occurred? Well, for some time, D'Angelo stepped back from the public eye because he was dealing with the stress of being famous and his own challenges. During this time, though, weed helped him deal with his problems. Like many artists, D'Angelo needed some time to rest and refresh himself. He felt a lot of pressure from being famous, and the demands from others, well, he needed to keep making music, and marijuana helped him feel relaxed while he was out of the spotlight. But it wasn't a simple solution. It was part of a larger journey to understand himself and find peace. D'Angelo's break didn't last long, though. After many years of being quiet, he joyfully returned to music with his record Black Messiah. When he came back, D'Angelo talked more about his difficulties and how marijuana helped him feel better. In conversations, he talked openly about his time away and how he used marijuana to cope with difficult situations. Number 15, Pimp C. Pimp C, one half of the famous rap group UGK, used marijuana as a big part of his image and successfully included it in their southern hip-hop style. For Pimp C, smoking marijuana was more than just a hobby. It symbolized freedom and a daring way of living that resonated with his fans. Pimp C often talked about pod and UGK's songs, showing it is an easy way to express oneself and relax in the chaos of life. This lifestyle also raised concerns about his health, though. Pimp C was famous for his fast lifestyle and for using marijuana, along with other actions that annoyed his fans and critics. His early death was a clear warning of how close risk is to luxury. His influence on hip-hop is clear, but his lifestyle makes us wonder how much it contributed to the problems he faced. Next up, let's move on to Nate Dogg, whose voice defined West Coast rap. Number 14, Nate Dogg. Nate Dogg, with his smooth and clear voice, became a key figure in West Coast hip-hop and an important part of the movement. He improved California rap culture by adding catchy melodies to famous songs while using straightforward language from his friends. In his songs, marijuana often symbolizes the laid-back lifestyle of the West Coast. Nate's regular use of weed made his voice sound real, whether he was talking about relaxing or setting a mood, and this helped him establish himself in the industry. Classic songs like Regulate and The Next Episode perfectly capture the relaxed yet energetic vibe of the California rap and are still loved for their timeless qualities today. Sometimes the way Nate describes things in his songs showed that what he was going through in real life was difficult. He began to have health problems over time due to heavy marijuana use and other living choices. Nate Dogg had several strokes by the time he was in his early 40s, which seriously harmed his health and led to his early death. Marijuana was just a part of his life, but it led to talks about how it might affect others' health. Although there are many factors involved, both friends and critics wondered how much they affected his declining condition. Despite these challenges, people really loved Nate Dogg for his great talent and his ability to create a soulful, famous sound. His unique voice, linked to the West Coast rap scene, shapes his image. Nate Dogg's music continues to motivate and connect with people, showing the lasting impact of his talent. Even though his life was brief, his work in hip-hop will always show how much he influenced the music. Now, obviously, we need to shift to Snoop Dogg, the king of cannabis culture. Number 13, Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is a well-known figure representing weed culture around the world. Snoop Dogg grew up in Long Beach, California, and became famous for his unique rap style and smooth delivery. From the beginning of his work, he openly supported cannabis and made it an important part of who he is. His honesty connected with fans and helped create his image as a rap star and a supporter of pot culture. Besides his singing, Snoop became a leading supporter for making marijuana legal. He saw weed as more than just something to enjoy. He believed it could help change people's negative perceptions. His humor, genuine nature, and ability to connect with people helped make weed a more acceptable topic of everyday discussion. Snoop took advantage of the growing cannabis business by starting his own brand, which became very successful and made millions of dollars. Snoop combined his passion for marijuana with his business skills, turning it into a real culture and business success. Today, Snoop Dogg is a leader, showing that cannabis can be more than just a lifestyle. It can represent imagination, acceptance, and new business ideas. Let's move to Lil Kim, a trailblazer in her own right. Number 12, Lil Kim. Lil Kim's upbringing and early career were shaped by her surroundings, where marijuana was part of her life as she became a rap star. In her songs, she described her experiences with cannabis, often being a part of those stories. For her, marijuana represented freedom and defiance in a male-dominated music industry that wasn't always friendly. Despite facing many personal and professional challenges, Lil Kim did not let her early experiences hold her back. She became a stronger and more determined person, showing that it's possible to overcome difficulties and change your path. Next up, who's ready for the next legend? Number 11, Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill's decision to step back from the spotlight changed her career. After the huge success of The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, her sudden departure made fans and reviewers curious about her reasons. One reason she decided to step back was her use of marijuana, which she sometimes relied on to handle the intense pressure of being a star. For Lauryn, weed was a temporary way to find relief from the chaos of fame and personal struggles. Lauryn gradually began to talk more about the challenges she faced, though, including how the music industry affected her mental health and the need to prioritize her well-being. Fans appreciated her honesty about the true challenges behind her famous success. Even though using weed was not a big part of her story, it reflected her struggle to handle life in the spotlight. Lauryn Hill remains an important cultural figure because her creative work and willingness to show her true self continue to inspire others, even though she has taken a break from the spotlight. Next up, let's dive into Eddie Griffin's story, where humor meets personal growth. Number 10, Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin is a talented comedian known for being open about his life, including his views on marijuana. For him, using cannabis was a normal part of his daily routine. It helped spark his creativity and kept him grounded amidst fame. His jokes often reflected the reality of marijuana culture, connecting with audiences who appreciated his honest take on life's complexities. However, he also faced challenges and realized that some habits could hold him back. By reassessing his lifestyle and making better choices for himself and his family, he worked on improving himself. Today, Eddie is an example of someone who has made progress, using his platform to promote balance and self-care. While marijuana is still part of his story, it doesn't define him anymore. Instead, his legacy is about evolving as a person while continuing to entertain people with laughter. Now, let's shift to Nate Robinson, where basketball meets personal reflection. Number 9, Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson, a former NBA player, had a career filled with exciting moments. However, he faced a lot of pressure to perform well in a tough league. To cope with stress, he used marijuana, which gave him temporary relief from the physical and mental demands of basketball. Recently, though, Nate has spoken openly about his choices and acknowledged that while marijuana helped him for a short time, it wasn't a lasting fix. His path to a healthier life has included focusing on mental health and finding better ways to deal with stress. Nate's honesty has connected with fans and highlighted the challenges athletes can experience off the court. His journey reminds us that taking care of ourselves and improving is important, even for those who appear strong. Now, let's talk about Don Cornelius, a man known for his significant legacy beyond his personal challenges. Number 8, Don Cornelius. Don Cornelius, the creator of Soul Train, changed the entertainment industry forever. While he was known for his smooth voice in the popular show, he struggled with personal issues, including drug use. Don turned to marijuana to help him relax from the pressures of managing a major entertainment program like Soul Train. Despite these challenges, Cornelius was dedicated to promoting black culture and music. Soul Train is his lasting legacy, showing his vision and strength. His use of marijuana adds depth to his story, illustrating that even great figures like him face real-life problems. Next, we explore Meek Mill's rise from struggle to advocacy. Number 7, Meek Mill. Meek Mill's rise from the streets of Philadelphia to becoming a hip-hop star shows his strength and determination. In his early life, pot was part of his surroundings, representing both defiance and a feeling of belonging. As Meek became more successful in hip-hop, pot became a part of his image, representing his background and the lifestyle he lived. Over time, Meek started using his position to encourage more responsible marijuana use. He changed the topic from celebrating too much to promoting balance, using understanding that he has an impact on his audience. Meek has grown from a young artist dealing with the challenges of fame to a strong advocate for change. This transformation has been impressive. He has used his voice to raise awareness about issues like improving the criminal justice system, showing that he has had an impact beyond just music. Stay tuned for the next story. It's just getting started. Number 6, Ja Rule. Ja Rule embraced the hip-hop lifestyle during his rise to fame in the early 2000s, and marijuana became a part of that lifestyle. It was part of his songs, his style, and his connection with his fans, showing the bold energy of his era. His songs and public appearances reflected his lifestyle, attracting people who liked his genuine energy and rebellious attitude. Ja Rule changed a lot after facing legal issues and failures, though. Realizing the effects of his choices, Ja Rule began promoting healthier habits and focusing on rebuilding his life and career. This change showed his strength and ability to handle the pressures of being a star. Ja Rule is still evolving today to show that everyone can always improve themselves. Next up, we dive into the legendary Jimi Hendrix and his creative journey. Number 5, Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix is a famous rock musician known for his innovative songs and exciting shows. He used weed to explore new sounds and push his artistic limits. Hendrix's most popular songs were inspired by his talks about how weed helped him tap into his creativity. Even though his lifestyle was debated, marijuana became a part of the cultural change he promoted. Hendrix's unique style of music and experimental methods made him a sign of freedom and self-expression. His unexpected death stopped his career, unfortunately, but he is still known as a rock pioneer today. Hendrix's legacy inspires new artists to pursue their own paths. Now let's move on to Billie Holiday, a jazz legend with a story to tell. Number 4, Billie Holiday. Billie Holiday is considered one of the greatest jazz singers ever. She had a life filled with both achievements and struggles. While working, she often used weed as a part of her life, which was linked to the struggles faced by black women in a heavily divided America. Her beautiful voice expresses the pain and strength of her life, making her songs a powerful way to let emotions out. Billie Holiday is remembered for her bravery and talent, despite her personal battles with addiction. Songs like Strange Fruit showed her ability to confront unfairness and reveal her emotions. Marijuana was a small part of her story, but it highlights the life of an artist who lived freely and made a lasting impact on the world. Now, next we celebrate Charlie Wilson's journey from struggles to redemption. Number 3, Charlie Wilson. Charlie Wilson, also known as Uncle Charlie, is one of the most loved sounds in R&B. As the main singer of the Gap Band, he became famous for making songs that were played at many celebrations. Eventually, the pressure of being a rock star, though, took a toll on him. Marijuana became a part of his life during the peak of his career as a way to manage stress and deal with the temptations of the music industry. His drug use increased over time, putting his talent and hard-earned job at risk. Charlie struggled and lost his home, unfortunately, which meant he also had to leave the music business as his problems got worse. However, his story didn't end there. Charlie began his rehab journey with strong determination, a good support system, and a commitment to change. He is grateful to his wife, Mahin, and for his faith for helping him overcome his addiction and find his purpose again. Now let's turn to Sean Diddy Combs and his evolving legacy. Number 2, Sean Combs, Diddy Puff Daddy. Sean Combs, also known as Diddy, Puff Daddy, or Puff, built a successful career as a music producer, businessman, and cultural icon. Early in his career, people worried he might be using pot because of his flashy, party-loving lifestyle. His lavish parties and connections with famous hip-hop stars shaped his image. Diddy has changed, though, over time, focusing more on business and personal growth rather than just fun. He uses his platform to inspire others to think big and work hard, becoming a symbol of change. Whether or not marijuana played a role in his past, Diddy's reputation is shaped by his ability to grow and lead. Finally, let's take a look at Michael B. Jordan and Hollywood's relationship with cannabis culture. Number 1, Michael B. Jordan, honorary mention. Michael B. Jordan, known for his great roles in Black Panther and Creed, is part of a new generation of Hollywood stars who value hard work, concentration, and high standards. Jordan's participation in this conversation highlights the bigger shift in how society views cannabis in entertainment, even though there is no direct connection between him and pot use. Over the years, Hollywood has become more open about discussing marijuana, as many celebs have shared how they use it for medicinal or creative and recreational purposes. This shows how society's views are changing, with weed now being accepted as a legal part of modern culture instead of something illegal. Michael B. Jordan offers a fresh perspective with his stylish look and dedication to his craft. He shows that success comes from hard work, discipline, and a commitment to doing things right, which creates balance in a business that often seems excessive. Jordan's strong focus on health and fitness, especially for tough roles like Adonis Creed, has helped him become a star. Younger people are inspired by his lifestyle, proving that you can succeed without following what others expect or what is popular at the moment, like cannabis. His involvement in the broader discussion about cannabis society is acceptable. It shows how the entertainment industry has changed from portraying marijuana use with stereotypes to a deeper understanding of it. Today, weed is often seen as a personal choice instead of an important part of someone's identity. With fans advocating for legalization of marijuana, this change has allowed for more open discussions about its benefits and its downsides. Michael B. Jordan is showing how Hollywood is changing its views on pot, even though he isn't personally involved with it. His realistic view shows how stars can stay genuine while adapting to social changes, unlike the past extravagances of the industry. Well, this has been a truly shocking look at celebrities and their marijuana habits. Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more surprising stories like this.